Your family's procrastination is actually your fault. Okay, wait, don't click away just yet. If you're an exhausted middle-class parent who feels like you are losing your mind every single night just trying to get your kid to do their homework or, put on their shoes, this explainer is exactly what you need. We are going to completely flip the script on dawdling. So, back to that statement on the screen. Your family's procrastination is actually your fault. I know you're trying your absolute best, and hearing that probably just made your blood boil. But let's just take a breath and drop those defenses for a second. Because, as you'll see, this isn't a guilt trip at all. It's a massive scientific discovery. What we're unpacking today is a psychological first aid kit based on real clinical insights. Turns out, the systems we naturally set up in our homes are often accidentally feeding the exact behavior we are desperately trying to stop. Section 1, the broken toolkit, why common methods fail. Let's validate some of that frustration you're feeling. First up, the myth of nagging. Hurry up, what are you doing? Your sister finished half an hour ago. We've all been there, right? But the reality, for kids, especially those with high anxiety or attention struggles, nonstop nagging doesn't make them move faster. It just creates total emotional chaos. It literally triggers defensive, rebellious stalling. Every time you yell, hurry up, you're just ramping up their anxiety and causing their brain to essentially freeze. And, well, it actually gets worse when we move from nagging to punishments, or those highly conditional reward charts. You know the drill. If you finish your math right now, I'll let you have the iPad. The source material shows that this transactional setup completely destroys a child's intrinsic motivation. It turns daily life into a hostile negotiation where they'll only move if there's a bribe on the table. Over time, that really damages the parent-child bond. So here's the million-dollar question. If nagging and bribing are totally useless, why are they actually stalling? Let's step away from the frustration and look at this from a scientific perspective to get the true diagnosis. Let's put on our lab coats for a second. There are 3 actual neurological culprits behind your kid's inability to just start their homework. And spoiler alert, it's almost never just laziness. It's an executive function lag, an emotional regulation imbalance, and a time perception bias. Let's fire through these real quick so you know what you're dealing with. Culprit number 1, executive function lag. Specifically, something called alternating attention. When your kid goes from playing a high dopamine video game to staring at a blank math workbook, they literally lack the smooth cognitive gears in their brain to make that shift. Every switch drains their mental battery. It takes them way, way longer to pull their focus back to reality than it does for us adults. Next up is the emotional regulation imbalance. So many kids stall because they are absolutely paralyzed by perfectionism. They think they need the perfect condition or the perfect mood to start, which, let's be real, doesn't exist. They'd literally rather procrastinate and run out of time than face the anxiety of doing the work poorly. It's simply a defense mechanism. And culprit 3, time perception bias. 10 minutes. To you and me, 10 minutes is 10 minutes. But a child's internal clock is basically broken. To them, 10 minutes of watching cartoons feels like a literal second. But 10 minutes of cleaning their room, that feels like an agonizing, endless lifetime. They literally cannot gauge how much time they have or how long a task will actually take. Section 2, the first aid kit. 3 actionable strategies you can use tonight. Strategy number 1, the visual timeline. We've got to cure that time perception bias by turning invisible time into something physical and visible. Think of it as building a time runway. Here's how you do it. Take a daunting 1-hour homework session and chop it into 4 bite-sized 15-minute chunks. You can even use colored tape on the floor or the desk to physically map it out. The golden rule here is first get it done, then get it good. Giving them just 15 minutes to focus instantly lowers that psychological barrier. It turns a massive mountain into a tiny molehill. Which leads perfectly into strategy number 2, gamified challenges. This is a total game changer for bypassing emotional resistance. The source gives us some amazing real-life scenarios. Imagine the chaotic morning rush. Instead of screaming, you play hotel service. You walk in and say, "Good morning, sir. Our hotel provides a complimentary sock wearing service today." It sounds ridiculous, but it completely disarms them. Or dinner time. Turn their spoon into an excavator digging for treasure in their rice. You're turning a nag-filled chore into a level-up game. And that brings us to our 3rd first aid tactic, positive feedback loops. We have to stop obsessing over the giant mistakes and the hours wasted and start tracking and celebrating the micro-progress. I absolutely love the metaphor the source uses here. Think of it like one of those retro brick-breaking video games.
You don't demand immediate perfection from your kid. You accumulate small wins. You smash procrastination one tiny block at a time. Every time they finish a 15-minute chunk or smoothly transition away from the TV, boom, that's a brick broken. Celebrating that tiny win rebuilds their self-esteem and creates massive forward momentum.
The crucial takeaway from this explainer is super simple. To break the cycle, you must stop lecturing and start gamifying. Ditch the yelling. It exhausts you and it doesn't work on them. Work with the science of how their developing brains actually process time, attention, and emotion. Which leaves us with one final provocative question. Are you ready to put away the timer, stop the endless nagging, and start building a visual time runway tonight? Try just one of these techniques this evening. Maybe become the morning hotel attendant or the dinner excavator, and watch the dynamic in your home completely shift. It is time to stop fighting the procrastination and start outsmarting it.